Janan.
Hey, I'm Gayatri.
So I know a lot of you are confused and have a lot of doubts about NIT Trichy itself.
And that's why we decided to make this series.
And we hope this series helps you. So when it comes to academic rules, all the freshers would pretty much do the same courses in their first year. And if you were planning to come to college and change your course after your first year, forget about it because NIT Trichy does not support that.
You also need to maintain your attendance at 75%. However, you get to claim 10% of your attendance in OD or medical leave. So it's enough if you keep it at 65.
All your examinations are sort of structured. So you have a CT1, CT2, which is your cycle test, and an NSEM. Sometimes the CT1, CT2 is replaced with a midsem.
Most courses also have a project component to them, which gives you an opportunity to work on hands-on projects. And you also get to add these projects to your resume, which is a big win. Coming to the courses at NIT Trichy, broadly, there are 3 kinds of courses: program core, program electives, and open electives. Program core are those subjects which need to be compulsorily taken by all the students of the department.
So you will be able to take around 14 electives, out of which 8 should be program electives and 6 should be open electives. And out of the 6 open electives, you can choose to do 2 courses and convert it into a final year project.
Talking about electives, program electives simply mean electives which are offered by your own department, and open electives mean electives which are offered by other departments.
In case you got a department that you don't like and you want to pursue something else, there's always an option to choose minor. So minor is basically courses offered by different departments, and you'll have to do 5 courses over the span of 5 semesters, and only when that's done you get a degree that you've done minor in particular course. Let us say you got mechanical engineering and you want to do something related to computer science. You have computer science, computer applications. There's even a management minor that you can pursue.
Say you are really interested in your department and you want to study more subjects related to your core area of interest, then you can pursue something known as an honors. Honors is basically taking up graduate level subjects from your own department. So say I'm in the electrical engineering department and I get to study MTech level courses from the EEE department.
So the criteria for taking honors is that you should have gotten 8.5 plus GPA every semester.
Basically, you need to study a lot and be an RG.
So the courses start from the 5th semester and goes till the 8th semester. And another criteria is that if you're doing an honors, you have to definitely do your final year project in NIT Trichy.
Now that we've talked about these various courses, how do you actually register for them?
சவுகார்பேட்ல ஷாப்பிங் போயிருக்கீங்களா?
சவுகார்பேட் கூட கிடையாது, டி நகர்ல ஷாப்பிங் போயிருக்கீங்களா?
If you mastered that or even experienced that, congratulations, you are ready to do course registration in NIT Trichy. Because when the clock strikes 12, the server goes down, and it's the most frustrating thing ever because for the next 10 minutes you will have to keep refreshing. Some of your friends will be able to get in and you won't be able to get in.
And the thing is, there are certain popular courses and the demand is very high, but the availability of seats in those classes is really less. So everybody is rushing to get those courses and it's so annoying. Sometimes you won't even be able to log into the portal, and by that, forget logging in, you won't even be able to access the website. But by that time, some of your friends or some of your batchmates would have already registered for the course. And you're just left there feeling annoyed, frustrated, and not knowing what to do. Now you've put in all the effort, you've fought all the battles, and you've successfully registered for the course. You took all your exams, you reached the end semester, you gave the end semester. Now how are you going to get the grades for these courses?
So there are different grades. So it starts from S and ends in an F. So S means 10, A means 9, and so on. And F means fail. And an X grade means you haven't shown up to the end semester. And a V grade means if you didn't maintain your 65% or 75% attendance, you will be barred from the examination and you will have to repeat the semester all over again.
Your GPA is the weighted average of all your grades, which basically means, say your course is for 4 credits and you got an S grade, then you will do 4 into 10. Similarly, you will take the sum over all your grades and the credits and then divide it by the total number of credits for that semester, which gives you your GPA for that semester. And if anybody tells you your CGPA is not important, please don't believe them. Focus on your CGPA, maintain your CGPA, and yeah, come thank me later.
And we'll be making a separate video for this and as part of the series later on.
Yeah, and we'll add like a lot of useful stuff on how to get good grades and things like that.
So subscribe. So coming to where you will be spending the next 4 years of your college life, your hostel. So there's a lot of rules and regulations, and we'll be focusing mainly on the girls' part of it. So for girls, there's a specific in time. On weekdays, you are allowed to come inside till 9:15, and on weekends, the time is extended till 9:45.
For first year girls, the in time for your hostel is 9 o'clock, and for first year boys, the in time for your hostel is 9:30. But after the first year, boys do not have any restriction or any in time. Further, you also have something called a sign out procedure. Say you're leaving your hostel for a couple of days, then you need to let your steward in the hostel know which dates you won't be there in the hostel and get it signed by the steward.
So for girls especially, you have something called roll call. So on weekdays between 9:15 to 9:45, you'll have to go to the steward and mark your attendance. And there's also a facial recognition system where you will have to place your attendance every day.
So girls can't enter the boys' hostel and boys can't enter the girls' hostel.
But there's the hostel office and Chaat Khazana inside the boys' hostel premises. So you're allowed to go to Chaat Khazana and eat, and you're allowed to also visit the hostel office. But if you want to do so, you'll have to go before 7 p.m. because after that you won't be allowed.
So Opal has 3 different messes. There is one mess for first year girls and 2 other messes, the South mess and the North mess. So the first year mess follows a mixed menu, and the South mess and the North mess, as the name suggests, follows a South Indian cuisine and a North Indian cuisine.
So the mess also follows a strict timing. So for breakfast, it's 7:30 to 9:30. And for lunch, it's 12:30 to 2:30. Snacks time is from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. And the dinner time is from 7:30 to 9:30.
But on weekends, they keep the breakfast till 10 a.m. because they know that we can't wake up.
So coming to the dress code part of NIT Trichy.
The dress code at NIT Trichy is not very rigid. You have a couple of basic restrictions. You're not allowed to wear sleeveless clothes or clothes that end above your knee inside the academic area. Other than that, it's pretty chill.
Although a few departments and professors in particular expect girls to come in kurti and the boys to come in collar, t-shirts and shirts. But other than that, it's pretty chill. If you're going to shop outside or anything like that, you're allowed to go in shorts and sleeveless, whatever you want.
Now, a few other general pointers about NIT Trichy. Almost everybody at NIT Trichy owns a cycle. The campus is huge. So if you're planning to move from one place to another without a cycle, you're going to have a tough time. So get yourself a cycle, strongly recommended.
And you're not allowed to take your cycle outside the main gate. You're allowed to roam around inside, which is pretty convenient only because you get to park it in the main gate, and right opposite our college there's the NIT Trichy bus stop, and you can use the bus services to go pretty much anywhere you want to. And there's a bunch of autos that stand outside. The transportation is not a big issue per se.
And always lock your cycles, guys. Never leave your cycle unlocked. I have so many friends who have a history of losing their cycle very frequently.
And you're strictly not allowed to have any motor vehicles inside the campus, or you can only use your own cycles. So when it comes to classes, it starts at 8:30 in the morning, and it's a 50-minute block period, and you have 4 periods with a break in between, and after that you will have your lunch break.
So all first year classes happen at the lecture hall complex, and the rest of the classes for the other years happen at a place called as Orion. Slot from 1:30 to 2:20 is reserved for open electives and minor, and in the afternoon from 2:30 to 5 you generally have your labs.
So after 5 o'clock you're pretty much free to do whatever you want to, and that's the time when the clubs and all the teams usually have their meets and you get to socialize with people.
There is also an NITT bus facility that runs inside the campus for girls. So the bus starts from Opal at 8:25 in the morning, right before your classes, and drops you off at the classroom area. And similarly, you have another bus in the afternoon that leaves around 1:30 and again drops you in the classroom area. That brings us to the end of this video. We hope that this has been useful to you guys.
And if you want to know anything else about NIT Trichy, drop down in the comments below and we will answer it in the next upcoming videos.
And subscribe to our channel so that you can watch the other videos in this series. So see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.